I've been doing some thinking. It's about the Astra Militarum, or the Imperial Guard. I want to love this army. I really do. But there are problems, as if you look on any of the major Warhammer channels, you'll find in spades. But there are some problems that I've noticed that could easily be non-problems, and I will accept this. But I do think they are problems, and I want to address them, or at least talk about them. They're not game-ending. I still do believe the Guard have a place in 9th edition, but I would like to see these things updated. I'm also not trying to make this a case of, oh, the Guard needs strength 10, AP minus 27, strength 2d6, las rifles. That's mental. No, I want reasonable changes. And these are changes I would like to see, and I'm hoping are coming with the release of the Guard Codex, whenever that is. The two issues that I feel the Guard have are, one, three issues. One, their core rule, orders, does not function as well as it used to anymore. It needs some sort of update. Two, the Guard regiment abilities are nowadays just underwhelming and no longer doing favors for us. And three, the special CP stuff. Anyone will discuss the fact that the Guard got nerfed to heck and back when it comes to CP gain and generation. But I'm talking about the actual CP abilities, and that they're just underwhelming to no end. And I know why that one is, at least. I can comprehend that rule. The others not so much, but the CP one I'll get into now, and you'll see what I mean. So back in 8th, when the Guard Codex came out, Guard were... The Loyal 32 is a thing for a reason. They were able to generate command points unlike most of the other armies. Other armies had to take seriously weaker troops in order to get anywhere near the amount the Guards do, and the Guards could field the troops and then the tanks, and it was okay. It was a passable list. But with so many CP, Games Workshop, in my opinion, created weaker command point uses than other armies. Their abilities just felt underwhelming. More often than not, I was using my CPs for commandery rolls. They had some good ones, but across the board, compared to the other armies, it was weak. Nothing was a game changer alone. It had to be built on top of other either command points or abilities or very specific situations. There was nothing on that list that made me go, this is going to change the tide of the war. Unlike other armies I saw that had serious abilities that could change the tide of the battle. And that was fine because we had so many CPs, we didn't mind burning a few dozen to, change the game. Whereas other armies only had to spend 1 or 2, we had to spend 4 to 6. But now that most of the other armies have the same point pool as we do, we're now at a huge disadvantage again, because now they get to have access to all these really powerful abilities, and we're at this point still stuck with the old underwhelming, useless, not useless, but underwhelming abilities, but the same pool as our enemy. So the command points just don't feel as balanced as they used to. And this can be fixed in release, but that's the problem. The releases aren't coming, and I don't know when they're going to be here. I'm hoping soon, but you know how that goes. Next up, the regimental doctrines, abilities, whatever you want to call them. They're also underwhelming. I keep hearing two of them mentioned, the Catachan ability as well as the Cadian Doctrine. Both are good. I personally don't like the Catachan, but I can see its point. But they're not useful anymore. They fight themselves now, and that's a problem. The Catachan ability, all infantry +1 strength. Oh, sorry, all proper infantry +1 strength. Neat. Your guardsmen are now strength 4, toughness 3. You're still stuck with a AP 0, strength 4, damage 1 melee weapon. Unless you're going up against Tau Pathfinders, you're not going to want to be in melee. At all. Anywhere near it. It's nice as a things have gone wrong and now I have a backup, but if you are planning for things to go wrong, one, good for you, you have a backup plan, but two, that's not a great philosophy. And the second ability, vehicles get to re-roll their random hit dice for number of hits. I'm actually okay with that one. It's just, again, feels underwhelming. It feels like there needs to be... Actually, no, that second one I'm okay with. Just the +4, the +1 strength. That one's just, again, underwhelming. You're not going to kill Necrons with this effectively. You're not going to kill Space Marines effectively. You're not going to kill Eldar. Tyranids will just eat you. The only unit I can see this remotely being effective on is Tau, who are, even I admit, in a way worse place than the Guard are. And Games Workshop, please, for love of God, get them some help. I want to get all the armies some help, but the Tau are suffering hard. Next, and let's go on to the Cadian ability. The other one that I hear is so overpowered and broken. You get to re-roll hits on ranged weapons. You get to re-roll hit rolls of 1 on ranged weapons in the shooting phase. If you don't move, I need my infantry up the board. I need them to be in midfield. I need them to be anywhere else. I need them to move. But if I'm moving them, I can't use the ability. That's all they get. They don't get a secondary ability. So my options are either sit back, use my ability, which is good if you don't move, or move forward and lose my regimental doctrine. And the second they're up on midfield, they're screwed. But you can look into anyone, once again, looking up that rule. And it hurts. It really, really hurts. Because, again, lastly, so the regimental doctrines definitely need an update. again, they're not bad. But compared to what some of the other armies get, it's just underwhelming. And I think that's the word for the guards right now. They're good, but underwhelming compared to what other armies are getting right now. And the last thing is their core abilities. Their orders. And this comes down to two major problems. One, orders have a 6-inch range. At least for infantry, orders have a 6-inch range. You need a commanding officer or other such unit that can shout orders out. And the reward for this is they get a minor buff. And these minor buffs can be good. The two major ones are take aim, reroll 1s on hit rolls. Fire rank 1, fire rank 2, which turns all your las rifles into rapid fire 2 weapons, which mixed, but I've seen it to good effect. And thirdly, move, which allows you to advance again. I think the last one is overhyped because all it does is allow you to get to the midboard to die. I do not like how the guard are currently so weak without any real effective defenses. But for 5 points models, you'll learn to live with it. You know what you're getting when you sign up for the guard. And the tanks have a order as well. That's pretty good. But once again, it's underwhelming because all of it requires there to be a commanding officer, be it your commanding officers. You can get it onto, I believe, commissars if you use warlord traits. You can get it onto regimental leaders. There are ways, but these guys are so easily targeted right now. It's easier now than ever to snipe leaders. All you need is to make sure that no one is within 6 inches of them. So this requires a commanding officer to at all times have at minimum 1 regiment of infantry who are now not moving up the board unless you're moving your officer up the board to guard him. He has his own personal entourage now. And the thing is, these are still guard. You can crush through them. So unless you're willing to invest in something like Bogrins to protect your COs, you're not going to keep them alive very long. A good player knows that they are the backbone of this army. The only way I've really found to cancel this out is infantry spam. Just have so many guys on the board that they have to chew through 3 or 4 ranks of soldiers just to get to you, but that's mental. Absolutely mental. It can be done. I've done it. It's just not fun for anyone involved. And the thing is, these abilities that they're able to hand out are ores for other armies. Yeah, that's again, they're cheaper. They're a 35-point model versus the usual 60, 80, 100 points for Space Marine and other armies. But you can only give it to 1 or 2 units depending on abilities per round, per leader. And once again, the leaders are weak. They're usually only toughness 3, coming into combat with usually a pitiful melee weapon and either a bolt pistol or a plasma if you're really wanting to gamble, but you're not bringing them for combat effectiveness. They're just there to dish out orders. Son, go there. You go there. You go there. That's all they're there for. and they're supposed to be the backbone of your military. It's, yeah, again, good, but underwhelming compared to other militaries. If you were to increase him by 15 points and give him a 6-inch aura because he's able to just command those around him, it might be able to fix it. You can have me argue. You can gladly comment whatever you want. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm insane. But I would rather be called insane and start an argument than continue to just have these oversights looked at. I want people to start thinking about some of these things, because everyone, when they talk about the Guard, discusses the same handful of problems. And there are other problems too, don't get me wrong. The Leman Russ is currently in a bad spot. The infantry in general needs something, because all the other armies are getting some decent infantry buffs. I hope. Long story short is, I'm trying to base these a lot against the Space Marines that are coming out. 2 wound models, toughness 4. They require 36 las rifle shots on average to kill 1. That is a 20-point model. A normal Space Marine, 99% of the time, can take out any one of your characters. Collective Space Marine fire can and will shred infantry on your side. And they still have plenty of points left over to take a lot of anti-tank. And that's how I feel about with a lot of those armies. Yeah. Well, I've been waffling for going on 18 minutes. I am Doombringer175, and I am trying to get a conversation started. I don't think anyone's going to see this, but if they do,